Welcome back, dear viewers. Today's story takes us to one of the most unforgettable and emotional moments in BTS history, the night Taehyung cried after an argument with Jin, captured forever in Burn the Stage episode 4. Before we begin, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell for more updates, and watch this video till the end, because what happened that night revealed a side of BTS few had ever seen before. Have you ever witnessed the instant when even the brightest star flickers for just a second? When the laughter and the glamour fade, and all that's left is the raw, human heart beating beneath the fame? In the world of BTS, where every movement seems choreographed to perfection, there came a night that stripped away that image and showed something achingly real, a moment of tension, hurt, and tears that would later become a lesson in love and brotherhood. It happened during the Wings tour, the legendary tour that would push BTS onto the global stage, cementing them as one of the most powerful forces in music. But at the time, it wasn't easy. The members were running on almost no sleep, juggling non-stop performances, rehearsals, interviews, and the crushing pressure to be flawless in every city, every night. The cameras captured their smiles on stage, but behind the scenes, exhaustion had begun to blur the edges of their patience. In that atmosphere of fatigue and pressure, two of the closest members, Jin, the eldest, and Taehyung, the group's sunshine, found themselves at the center of a misunderstanding that no one saw coming. The episode begins lightheartedly, laughter, playful teasing, the familiar spark that fans adore. But then, the energy shifts. During concert preparations, the camera suddenly catches an exchange between Taehyung and Jin. Their tones are sharp. Their eyes no longer carry their usual warmth. Taehyung's expression is tense, his voice trembling slightly as he speaks, while Jin's reply comes out firm, edged with frustration. The entire room feels the weight of the moment. What started as a simple conversation about stage coordination spiraled unexpectedly. Taehyung, focused on perfecting the performance, tried to offer Jin some directions about positioning. But when you're tired and tense, even harmless words can sound like criticism. Jin, already under immense pressure as the oldest, misread Taehyung's tone. "Hyung, that's not what I meant," Taehyung said softly, his voice breaking just a little. But Jin, still caught in the moment, replied, "Then say it properly next time." The room went silent. Every member felt it, that quiet, uneasy air where words sting harder than intended. It was one of those moments that revealed the truth behind the stage lights. BTS wasn't just 7 idols performing in perfect sync, they were 7 young men trying to hold an impossible dream together. And sometimes, that dream was heavy. Later in the episode, the camera follows Taehyung as he walks away alone. His shoulders are low, his steps slow. Gone is his signature smile, the bright energy that fans know so well. He sits quietly in a corner, eyes glistening, his hands trembling slightly. It's one of the most vulnerable images ever captured of him. For a moment, the idol disappears, and what remains is just a young man hurting deeply, questioning himself, replaying the argument, wondering if he had said too much or too little. The truth is, both Taehyung and Jin were hurting for the same reason, they cared too much. Jin carried the burden of being the oldest, always feeling responsible for keeping the group united. Taehyung, on the other hand, was the kind to express love through honesty, speaking up when something didn't feel right. But that night, those two forms of care clashed. Hours later, after the concert, came the scene that still makes fans emotional to this day. Backstage, the tension had settled. Jin walked toward Taehyung quietly, his usual confidence replaced by guilt and humility. "Taehyung, he said hesitantly. There was a long pause. Then came the words that broke the silence, "I was wrong earlier. I shouldn't have raised my voice." Taehyung looked up, his eyes swollen from holding back tears. That was all it took. His emotions, buried all evening, finally overflowed. He began to cry, not the silent kind, but the kind that comes from deep inside, when everything you've been holding in finally bursts out. It wasn't just about the argument. It was about the sleepless nights, the pressure, the constant expectation to be perfect even when you're breaking inside. Jin's eyes softened, and he immediately pulled Taehyung into a hug. The atmosphere changed completely, the tension melted into relief, into understanding, into the kind of love that only family shares. The cameras caught it all, the apology, the tears, the reconciliation, and fans everywhere felt their hearts ache and heal all at once. That single moment became one of the defining scenes of Burn the Stage. It reminded everyone that BTS's power doesn't come from perfection, it comes from honesty. The group didn't try to hide their struggles. Instead, they let the world see their humanity. And that's why people connected with them so deeply. But what's often forgotten is what happened after that episode. In later interviews, both Jin and Taehyung opened up about the incident. Jin admitted that he had been too harsh, not because of Taehyung's words, but because he was frustrated with himself. As the eldest, he felt the constant pressure to guide the group and to never show weakness. That night, his own stress had spilled over. Taehyung, meanwhile, reflected on how easily misunderstandings can hurt the people you love most. He said that experience taught him how important communication is, not just as a performer, but as a friend and brother. It wasn't just an apology, it was a moment of growth for both of them. And that's the beauty of it, that a single argument, born out of exhaustion, turned into a lifelong lesson about love, patience, and empathy. If Burn the Stage had never captured that night, would fans have ever seen that side of BTS? Maybe not. But that's exactly what made the documentary special. It didn't just show perfect performances, it revealed the real people behind the microphones, vulnerable, emotional, and beautifully human. The timing of this incident is also worth noting. It happened around 2017, the very year BTS began taking over the global stage. Their fame was exploding, but behind that success was an invisible war, the fight to stay grounded, to protect their bond while the world pulled them in every direction. Fame amplifies everything: joy, pressure, misunderstandings, and that small clash between Jin and Taehyung became a symbol of how BTS learned to survive that storm together. In the end, Taehyung's tears were not a sign of weakness. They were proof of his strength, proof that even in a world built on perfection, he dared to be real. Those tears mirrored the soul of BTS, a soul built on honesty, brotherhood, and the courage to show vulnerability before millions. That night, BTS didn't just perform as artists. They grew as family. They reminded the world that it's okay to break down, to argue, to make mistakes, as long as love always finds its way back. So, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more stories that reveal the unseen emotions, hidden struggles, and unbreakable bonds behind the world's biggest band, BTS.